Hey guys, welcome to Breakdown, and today we are going to be reviewing the Royal Rumble 2004. Thank you to a guy that was or girl, I don't know, a person that was watching my videos, asked that you should record, review, whatever, um, 2004 pay-per-views, and I said thank you because I really was trying to figure out where to start, and I knew it was somewhere in that time frame that I probably stopped watching wrestling, and that's a pretty good time frame, I think, that he picked out, because I do believe this is probably one of the time frames that um, I need to be watching, because I think it was around this time that um, I stopped. So let's go ahead and talk about the Royal Rumble. So Royal Rumble 2004 started out, and the big story in here was Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. That's the big story. We're gonna wrestle in a last minute standing match. Um, I think they started out with a promo about that, and they went on to. I think that was about it. It said something about Eddie and Chavo. Um, then I also talked about the Royal Rumble. And I think they showed things, some qualifying matches and stuff like that they had for Royal Rumble, which is always weird when they do things like that. Somehow Goldberg got number 30 going into the Royal Rumble, which is weird. Ooh, hey, girl, word. Number 30. Well, it's kind of weird because it sets everything up. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a bit. But anyway, it starts off with the Dudley Boys taking on Evolution's Batista and Ric Flair. I liked it when Ric Flair and Batista had the World Tag Team Championships. And at this time, they were still two Tag Team Championships belts. I know that makes no sense what I said, but whatever. And I enjoyed that. And I hope they bring that back because they have a great tag team division now. Some people may call shit on that, but I don't think so. We've got a great tag team thing now. They're just not everybody's getting utilized. So I think that would be great if they gave two belts back to each brand. Anyway, so Dudley Boys versus Batista Ric Flair in a tables match. Yes, tables match. So much overdone in the Attitude Era, and this is 2004. So it was near when this match was probably stupidity beyond everything. And I believe Batista put somebody through a table. That's how it won. Oh yeah, I think Batista did a spine buster on Devon to the table. It says, okay. Oh gosh, no, don't like that. But anyway, it was a decent match. It wasn't that special. It was a tables match. Tables matches are kind of lame in my opinion. I'm not really a big fan. Like, I don't understand why people like tables matches so much, because I don't think they're that good, in my opinion. Like, I think the only reason why people chanted "We want tables, is because they were there live. If they were at home, they'd probably be like, "Oh shit, tables match, really, really." But they were there live, so they want to see it live, possibly. That's the only reason I can think of. Like, why the hell would you chant "We want a table match," especially in this day and age? Because you've seen it done to death. Then we get Rey Mysterio versus Jamie Noble with Nydia in his corner. That at this time in WWE history, she was blind. Yeah, they went there. I don't know why. I don't get it. And she grabbed Noble's leg on accident during the match, and Rey Mysterio hit the 619. It was a very, very short match. Didn't last very long at all. Just a cool little match. I don't know what the point of it was, but Jamie Noble sitting there, he was scolding her all the way back to the back. Um, I don't know. I like Nydia. I think they could have did more with Nydia. I don't think they did as much with her I don't know if there's something behind the scenes that we didn't know about. But I thought she had potential. I don't know what happened. I have no idea. Then the third match on the card was Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero. This was a really good match. They wrestled for a decent amount of time, and Eddie got the win, I believe. Let me see this. Yeah, he got the frog splash to win the match. But after the match, Eddie beat the crap out of Chavo. Because Chavo said something. I think Chavo did something at the end of the match or something. Oh, he has to shake his head. And he just snapped. He just attacked his brother, which weirded me out. Like I didn't even know. I didn't even understand. That didn't even cross my mind. Chavo Senior is actually Eddie Guerrero's older brother. I was like, blew my mind because that never crossed my mind ever. And I remember watching this pay-per-view a long time ago. So I've seen this before. I just didn't remember much of it. So that tells you how memorable this pay-per-view really is. But anyway, yeah, he beat him down and something with his eye. I don't know if they go do something with that afterwards or whatever. We'll find out. Maybe. Not really. Ooh, God, yawning. Stop it. Damn it. Anyway. But then we get to the WWE Championship match. I forgot about this one. Brock Lesnar defends the title against Hardcore Holly. So this match, I remember watching this match the first time. And I remember it being a horrible match, by the way. But it was impressive because they gave Hardcore Holly a shot at the title. And at the time, you got to think about this. And this is what impressed me, I think, at the time of when this was actually happening, was that it very much impressed me because never had you seen them put somebody like Hardcore Holly in this spot. The last time I seen something like this was when I believe Bret Hart took on, I think, Razor Ramon. And I think that was at a Royal Rumble too. I could be wrong. It could have been Diesel versus Ramon. But they had, I think, Bret Hart versus Razor Ramon. And I swear that's what it was. Yeah, but Royal Rumble seems to be a place where they let the world champion take on maybe somebody that normally wouldn't get a shot at the world championship or the WWE championship, whatever. I just mean the world title in general. But they've always done that, and it's weird. Like if you go back and look, I think like Triple H took on like Scott Steiner at one Royal Rumble, and then like I said, Brock Lesnar defended against Hardcore Holly, Bret Hart and Razor Ramon, and they did this, and you knew that you knew the wrestler didn't have a chance, but you thought it was interesting because they gave the guy a shot at this pay-per-view because they knew that this was the road to WrestleMania. It didn't really matter. Like this was a match that was just put out there to have a good match, a little decent match that the champion was gonna walk out of, but it was gonna be something that you could say, oh, you should have seen this match. It was blah, blah, blah. And they might have built something on it, maybe from Hardcore Holly being attacked or something like that. He didn't get attacked. No. Lesnar is basically decimated and won the match. Yeah, it wasn't a good match. And I remember seeing this, and I thought maybe they're going to do something with Hardcore Holly back in the day, and they didn't do anything with it. They didn't push it. He went right back to obscurity after this, and I believe shortly after this he disappeared, and they released him. Yeah, whatever. It was kind of dumb. Then we get to the last man standing match: Triple H and Shawn Michaels. So I remember watching the SummerSlam match between these guys. And it was pretty decent. I think it was on some kind of compilation I thought I saw or something that I had. And was I impressed with the SummerSlam match? It was, I'm going to get shit for this. It was okay. It wasn't the greatest. I've seen better Shawn or Triple H matches. I think it might have been on Triple H DVD that was released, which was really, really good, by the way. If you haven't had that, seen that, I think it's the first really good one they had at Triple H. That was like a 3-disc set. It was freaking awesome, I'm telling you. Be surprised. Being a Triple H DVD, it was really good. But anyway, not impressed with the match. It was okay, but it wasn't the greatest match of either of them. It was better than average, but not the greatest. That being said, after I yawned 4,000 times in the video, it was interesting. And it ended to where they both couldn't finish, or they both couldn't get up to the count of 10, which was weird. I don't think I've ever seen that, but in the crowd's reaction, being in Philadelphia, ECW hometown, boom, 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 when it ended that way. It was awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it was a good little match. It was a pretty. This last man standing match was really good. Like, they probably could have did a couple other spots in the match to make it a little better, but it was okay. It was an okay match. But with that being said, I didn't remember anything about this pay-per-view really. Except one thing. I'll tell you when I get to it, which it'll be in like about 5 seconds. But the match, like I said, everything was forgettable about this pay-per-view except for the Royal Rumble. So let's get to the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble, I'm not going to go much longer with this pay-per-view. This Royal Rumble was shit. Let me tell you. Straight up. Shit. There ain't nothing. The only thing about this Royal Rumble that was a saving grace was the way it ended and Ernest the Cat Miller and his announcer. His announcer was a part of the funniest line I've ever heard in a pay-per-view, besides Bobby Heenan probably saying some funny shit back in the day. And I think it might have been Taz that said it. But Ernest the Cat Miller's announcer came down to the ring, announced him. He came out. They both got in the ring. Ernest the Cat Miller danced, and his announcer was dancing behind him, getting the groove thing on. And somebody grabbed, I think it was Kurt Angle, grabbed the announcer and grabbed him by his head and tried to grab him by his tights and went to throw him out of the ring, and the wig came off. And then Kurt Angle just tossed the wig over the top rope, and immediately Taz said, "Well, the wig's been eliminated." I lost it. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but it was hilarious. And then he threw him out. And then Ernest Miller got thrown out by Benoit. Super funny. The other thing that I thought was awesome about this, of course, Chris Benoit wins this Royal Rumble. Goldberg being number 30. All that was to set up Lesnar versus Goldberg at WrestleMania 20. Awesome. WrestleMania 20. Can't wait to rewatch it. Amazing. I will say this before I talk any more about this pay-per-view. I know Chris Benoit is in here. This is the year of Chris Benoit. And that may be why this guy or person, whatever, wanted me to review 2004. This is what I'll say about Chris Benoit. I know what he did was bad. I know it was horrible. But looking back at all his matches and what he has done in his wrestling career, there had to have been something that went wrong in his head near the end. And I very well feel sorry for him in that way. But what he did to his family was unforgivable. And I understand what the WWE doesn't want anything to do with him. He's a murderer. He is a murderer. And it's hard for a company like that had almost an entire year with him as a champion to forget about that year, because there were some amazing matches that he performed. So with that, I will say this. He left behind a tremendous wrestling legacy that people will look back on and say he was a great athlete, but we'll never know what happened in his mind, because he was a great wrestler in that ring. But at the end of his life, we just don't know what happened. We do not know. We'll never know why he did what he did. That's all I'm going to talk about. There you go. And I won't mention it throughout this entire thing. I'll probably say just a little quote about, hey, he did what he did, whatever. Let's talk about his wrestling. But anyway, in this pay-per-view, the one thing that I remember about him winning this pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble, whatever, is that he grabbed his head. He grabbed the Big Show head. It was him and Big Show at the very, very end of the Royal Rumble. I remember this. Kurt Angle being eliminated by the Big Show abruptly, and Kurt Angle be like, oh, because Kurt Angle's like, oh, I'm dedicated to the troops, which doesn't make no sense because he's a heel, so whatever. But Benoit holds Big Show's head and basically drags him over the top rope, flips him over onto the outside, and that's how he wins the Royal Rumble. That was amazing, and we've never seen that yet. I think we kind of seen it with Rey Mysterio. I think Rey Mysterio might have done that the year after when I think he won in 2005. Let me look that up. I'm going to look that up. I'm definitely going to look that up right now because I haven't watched that in a while. Oop, let's spell the Royal Rumble. Why the hell would I even spell the Royal Rumble? I'm pretty sure he wins the Royal Rumble in 2005. Here's a funny thing to tell you guys in the middle of doing this Royal Rumble 2004 review at the end. Really? You're just gonna not tell me what's going on. What are you doing? Anyways, it just gave me a no result file for like a brief second there. I was like, what? Here's what you should do. Some night, when you're not on the internet, try and name all the people who won all the past Royal Rumbles. It's a bitch. It's hard to remember. If you're an old school person like me, you'll get most of them. But at a certain amount of time, at certain points in the years of the Royal Rumble, you'll forget. And it'll be confusing because you got to remember at one point, Bret Hart and Lex Luger tied at a Royal Rumble. And then you start thinking, when did Yokozuna win? Then you got to remember when Ric Flair won. Past that is when everything starts to go merging all together. And it's hard to remember who won what year. So it's very, very confusing. Who won the Royal Rumble in 2005? Batista won it. Sad Bandit. So it was probably the year after, I think, the Ray won. Yeah, it was after. I think it was 2006 or 7 or 8, 9 or 10, 11, I don't know, fucking that. Anyways, but there you go. The Royal Rumble 2004, pretty awesome. Can't wait to watch the remainder of the year. And what I did was, if you the guy, a person requested that I review the 2004 pay-per-views. So what I did, I hit the X. Thank you. What I did was go and see what pay-per-view started. I know, don't judge, all right? I don't remember these things. I don't remember months and years. Sometimes it gets mixed up with me. I know. I should know. The Royal Rumble is the beginning of the year pay-per-view all the time, for the most part. All the time. Anyways, I looked it up. Was it Rumble? I said, okay, we'll start with Royal Rumble 2004. I'm interested to watch No Way Out, though. I really am. I looked at something, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that pay-per-view. I've always watched the Royal Rumble. That's the thing. So a lot of Rumbles I've seen, but I didn't see any other pay-per-views. So I'm interested to go back and watch some pay-per-views I've never seen. So with that being said, thank you for watching. If you've seen the Royal Rumble 2004, what did you think about it? What did you like about it? What did you hate about it? What was your favorite match? Who's your mama's? I mean, what? Never mind. Who's your mama? Oh, and I mean, all right. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about Royal Rumble 2004. And as always, keep rocking and keep watching wrestling.